Hey guys, Chase with VSSL. We're going to answer the question, what vessel is right for your projects? Before we dive into each one of the individual units, we're going to remind you a few things about VSSL. Number one, it is completely scalable. You can start with one zone and add as many as you'd like, so long as your network can support it. Number two, you can actually mix and match the various VSSL units to match whatever project you have. So for example, if you have a project that calls for 4 zones, you could take our A1X and our A3X and put them in the same project for those 4 zones. If you have 7 zones that you need audio in, you can take an A1X and an A6X for those 7 zones. Or if you have 10 zones, you could take the A1X, the A3X, and the A6X and provide all 10 zones in your project. First, let's start with the A1X. If you look at the backplane of the A1X, you'll notice there's a lot of inputs and outputs as well as the built-in amplifier. So this means the A1X is perfect if you have just a single zone where you're wanting to connect a simple pair of speakers up and leverage the onboard amplifier. However, if you have a very large commercial project where you're hooking up a lot of speakers to cover a very large area and you want the same thing playing across all those speakers, you can then use the A1X into an external 70 volt or 100 volt amplifier, which will then allow you to then daisy chain your commercial speakers. Another great application with the A1X is using it in conjunction with True Audio's landscape audio system. Those typically run in 70 volt and 100 volt as well, where you're daisy chaining the speakers and subwoofers throughout the entire outdoor audio project. From there, you can use the analog audio output of the A1X into your LEA amplifier and drive your outdoor audio solution. Next, let's talk about the A3X. It's perfect for any 3-zone application that you may have. So think if you want to add outdoor audio in your kitchen, and maybe even your master bedroom. The other nice thing about the A3X to keep in mind is you can mix and match that with your A1X and your A6X to get the desired number of zones in whatever project you have. Finally, keep in mind the A3X also has analog audio outputs, so you can also loop in any one of those zones into things like a home theater processor, like we mentioned with the A1X, or a 70 volt or 100 volt amplifier for those larger commercial projects where perhaps you have a warehouse full of a lot of speakers and perhaps a little office area that only needs a pair of speakers hooked up directly to the built-in amplifier on the A3X. Finally, you can use that analog audio output to drive a True Audio outdoor landscape system that is running in 70 volt, 100 volt as well. Next, let's talk about the A6X. It's perfect for any project that may have up to 6 zones, or like the A3X and A1X, you can mix and match for even more than 6 zones in whatever project you have. Perfect for both residential and commercial. The A6X is great for a project that has a lot of zones where you need something different playing, or the same thing playing in each one of those zones. Like the A3X and A1X, the A6X also has preamp analog audio output, so you can mix and match external amplifiers with the built-in amplifier that's in the A6X as well. So think for a residential project, any project where you're going to want audio in the outdoor, the indoors, the kitchen, the living room, perhaps the master bedroom, master bathroom, or even any of the other guest rooms in the home. For a business, think multiple executive offices or conference rooms where you're going to want to install audio or a pair of speakers. And then finally, if you are dealing with a large outdoor audio project where you need 70 volt or 100 volt technology, you can loop out via the analog audio output into an LEA amplifier and drive those outdoor audio speakers. Finally, something to keep in mind is the various ways you can actually install the VSSL products. The A1X can sit on a 1U rack shelf side by side by another A1X. You can also wall mount the A1X. It can also just sit on a shelf anywhere in your project. The A3X can be rack mounted or wall mounted. And then finally, the A6X can be just rack mounted or put on a shelf like you see here. As you can see, you can get really creative with how you use VSSL in your audio projects. If you feel like you're getting stuck, or if you have any questions, please give our sales team a call. Otherwise, for more information, please visit VSSL.com. Thank you for watching.